Today, we are finally putting the supercharged 2ZZ MR2 on a standalone ECU. So if this is your first time seeing the supercharged MR2 build, this is a 2ZZ swapped MR2 Spider out of a 2000 Celica GTS. I did that swap years and years ago in college. That's probably been, I don't know, 6 years ago I did that swap. And now I am supercharging it with an Amazon SC14 supercharger, which if you don't know anything about those, you can basically get them on Amazon, eBay. They're a refurbished supercharger. Most of them came off of a Toyota Previa minivan. So far, everything seems to be checking out. In the last video, you saw I spun that thing for the first time. It has not made boost yet. So that is what we're creeping up on here, and maybe today, I don't know that for sure. But to get this supercharger to fit, I had to make my own custom exhaust header to clear the supercharger, and I had a lot of fun doing that. So that full build of that header is on the channel if you want to go check that out. And I also installed a water air intercooler. That is all set up with the heat exchanger in the front and the lines running the whole way the length of the car. And then in addition, I installed a Deechworks fuel pump upgrade to make sure we can get enough fuel in this thing, which leaves just a few things left until this thing can make boost. And that is, step one is the standalone ECU. So I got the Apexi Power FC. I've already talked in a previous video, I think whenever I installed the wideband, I already talked about the Power FC, how it's not the newest, best technology that's out there, but it is something that a lot of people have used, and it's about half the price of any other ECU. So that's why I'm starting with that, and we're going to see how it goes. And then secondly, I need to install some bigger injectors to accompany the bigger fuel pump, and those can go in after I get the ECU installed and running. So the first thing I need to do is get the ECU in and make sure it works. So I was told the ECU is tuned for just an NA 2ZZ MR2. That's what it came out of. And I think it had a pretty good tune on it. The guy said it ran really well and really smooth. So I'm going to plug it in first, obviously without my charge pipe all hooked up to my MAF. So this is just coming out the bottom here. It'll just be running NA for now, stock injectors. All right, so the old ECU is out. Looking at the new Apexi, it doesn't actually have screw holes to put in the brackets, so probably have to kind of just zip tie it up back there or put some Velcro on it maybe. But I'll figure out something for that. But for now, let's get it plugged in. Okay, Apexi Power FC's in. I got my Commander, the handheld Commander, also plugged in. And that is now up here, reaches far enough. I'll be able to mount it somewhere up here. So that'd be cool. Get one of those little holders for it. Be super like early 2000s JDM, which is kind of cool. So, all right. So time to get the battery back in here and see if this thing starts. All right, battery's in. That's all good news. Oh yeah. It's a better look. So you can get in here and check out all your stuff. Okay, now it is time to start this thing again with the Apexi Power FC in it. Again, no boost, charge pipe isn't hooked up. This is just to make sure it runs with the map that's on the Power FC. It should run very well with just the NA setup. And then we'll see after that if I want to start it with some boost. Here goes nothing. Okay, so it seems to be running well. runs with the Apexi Power FC, which is great news. I didn't really doubt it, but you never know. Buying a used ECU like that already has a tune on it. Does seem like it's running fine without actually taking out and driving it. I won't know for sure. All right, guys, now it's time for the fun and scary part. I'm gonna hook the supercharger up to the engine. I know it's dangerous. It's a little bit dangerous. It's not tuned for a supercharger, but I believe if I get it started and idling, I just want to get it started, see how much boost this thing is making. We're gonna see if this SC14 supercharger makes boost. All right, guys, so this one's pretty simple. I just gotta connect the output of the supercharger to my inlet of my MAF pipe here that goes into my water to air intercooler. All right, so I'm keeping an eye on my air to fuel ratio, obviously. I don't want to blow my engine up, so I'll just be keeping an eye on this very carefully. I want it to be right around 14.7 or slightly richer. And then also boost gauge, which is right here. Keeping an eye on that just to see what we make. And here we go. Big moment.
Holy cow, that's loud. No.
Yeah, it's loud.
Wow. I would get it recircing, right? Because that's how.
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because
it's
if it recircs, it's just pulling back into the supercharger, which is already just pulling air in. So I don't know if it really matters. And it's before the MAF. But did it feel like it didn't?
Oh wait, yeah.
Did it feel like it closed at all whenever I revved?
Yeah, it's definitely like fluctuating.
So far, I haven't actually seen it make boost though on my gauge, but.
Yeah, but you're just at idle. I mean.
Right, and I'm barely blipping the throttle, so it probably hasn't given enough time to actually build pressure in the manifold.
Yeah, and you'll probably have to play with this a little bit, because if it is set too soft,
then it wouldn't let anything go.
Yeah, because it did kind of feel like it was, even whenever you were
blipping it, it still was.
Even when you were on the throttle, it was still pushing some air.
So it might not be letting enough pressure.
So you might, you may need to.
And it's possible that it.
I just realized there's music playing here. I don't know. We're gonna get demonetized. But I looked up what the stock, like for a forge blow-off valve, what to set it to for a stock Mark IV, which is like 8 psi from the factory. So I set it to that.
Look at that.
So I knew that not, because then I knew if it could hold 8 psi, then it would hold mine, but it wouldn't be too light and it wouldn't be too excessive where it's not letting it bypass, which is the whole reason why I did it.
Okay.
Because I needed it on the lighter side so it would let that at idle blow, essentially, bypass out through this, which I just had it recirculating. But
which I need that because with the fixed pulley, as soon as the throttle plate closes, like last time I started without that, like I blipped it and the throttle plate closed and it just blew a coupler off. because like that's just trying
It has
to.
nowhere for
Yeah.
it to go. Yeah.
Yeah, and it can't
You
go
need
back out.
something. Which mine, the
Now,
reason,
if I had no couplers and it was solid aluminum the whole way into the engine, it'd probably do
I
what
don't
yours does and kind of like blow
force
back
itself
out. and
Yeah,
pull
I don't
or
know how
whatever.
it would have to find some way out if it could do that. I don't know, it might break something because
Right.
the reason mine can do that is as soon as I let off the throttle, the clutch plate disengages and the supercharger is just free spinning. So then that
Right.
pressure can kind of push back.
So yeah, we'll figure it out. This video isn't over yet. I can't end this video yet because it's the whole video is me making boost with the Amazon Supercharger. So
Yeah,
I'll
we
have
haven't
to.
done that yet.
I'll have another cut in this video. So
Yeah, try
haven't
again.
done it.
Another weekend.
failed. All right.